Hey, my name is Nick, and I sort of built a PC for the first time. I mostly got it from scrap parts from a mixture of this old PC. It's not that old, it's about 5 or 6 years, but it kind of crapped out on my dad, so he bought a new one and passed the parts down to me. This is a Dell Optiplex 990. It has i7, a good amount of RAM. It's a pretty solid device. The only thing it was sort of lacking in was a graphics card. And the weird reason that it got passed down to me was, I'm kind of gutted it by this point, but this power supply. It was either an issue with this power supply or the motherboard, but it only runs when this safety button is held down. If you hold down the safety button, then it's like a test button. If you hold this down and then press the power while holding this button down, it runs. But otherwise, it just gives you the weird amber light of death that's very common on Dell message boards and stuff. So for a couple days, I searched through the internet, scoured around, tried to find a solution for this, and I just couldn't come up with anything. So the easy solution part of my mind just said, hey, cut this open and make a switch, which I did. I popped a switch in right next to the button, so that when you switch this on, it's the same thing as just holding the button down. And that worked for a little while. I got my PC up and running, and it never caught on fire. But the only issue was the graphics card was lacking. I really wanted to play Overwatch since it came out recently. And the graphics card, these graphics cards up here, came with two of them. They're AMD, I think 540s, something along those lines. I'll zoom in. And they're a little dinky. They're nice for having like two monitors running at the same time, but can't really do much in the way of graphics. And they're low profile too, so they could fit into that case. So I thought, alright, I'm gonna search around, I'm gonna get a new graphics card, and I'm gonna get this thing running. I'll get to play Overwatch without just being frustrated at running 12 FPS every single time I wanted to play. But the thing is, after two problems with that. One, this power supply doesn't come with 2x6 power connectors. So, for those of you who don't know, I bought an R9 280 MSI graphics card. It's pretty great quality, but it only runs if it has external power running into it. These don't require any excess power. MSI, well, any graphics card that is worth its salt these days does. And this power supply doesn't have it. I only have the PSU plugged into my computer, which I'll explain later. It only has these weird dongles that are for pretty much hard drives and CD, like DVD-ROM burners, and the CPU power. So I did the next rational step. One, the graphics card doesn't fit. Two, I need a better power supply, so I decided to use a little extra money. I bought this Cooler Master case. I love it to death so far. It comes with some great fans. It has a lot of open space for circulation, a lot of space just to fit everything you need in it. And it fit my graphics card too, which was a double plus. So I got everything in this case. I plugged in the power supply, I plugged in the graphics card, got all the components working, got everything in there. And the power supply does not function with the motherboard. So once again, I'm not the most computer technologically minded person. I figure it's getting a weird signal from the motherboard and it just doesn't want to run because of it. So I did the rational thing. I put another PSU on there. There we go. It's the old PSU and it runs with the motherboard, but the only problem is it can't run anything else. So I have one power supply plugged only into the motherboard, and there it is, just hanging out. Run some extra power in there. And then I have this power supply powering literally everything else in the computer. There's the power for the graphics card, there's the power for the hard drive, power for the fans, power for the DVD drive. It's all running off of this bad boy right here. and it works really nicely. The fans are nice and powerful, but they're also pretty quiet, which is always awesome. And then this one powers the motherboard, and some of the motherboard power goes to the graphics card, but also it requires a little extra push just so that it can run well. But yeah. And also, the reason that the face is just kind of falling off here, this is all components from the original Dell computer. Original power cable and power button, everything else, because the components from these I know work with this motherboard. The other ones, I don't think they matched up properly or something. For some reason, the new components from the new face of the board, of this case, sorry, the new components just wouldn't fit into the Dell motherboard, and they wouldn't work properly, so I just went with the old ones that did work. And eventually I'm gonna hack the face off of this just so I can have this piece and just so it can look a little bit prettier. Right now my Frankenstein computer just a little dangly. It works well for what I need it for, and I can run Overwatch on high, which is pretty much everything I've ever wanted in my entire life. But yeah, this is my little Frankenstein computer project, Frankenstein monster computer project, and I love it to death. Just a quick little example. Forgot if I did this or not. If you don't have the test button on, gives you a little weird amber light of death. But the second switch it to test mode, a little MSI logo pops up. It's very happy you did that. And there's that blue button. And look at that. Gorgeous. And yeah, I had to update to Windows 10. Thank you, Microsoft, for letting me have a choice in this. I very appreciate it. Alright, that's my rig. Thank you very much for watching. Oh, it's so pretty.